You're pathetic, Wendy. Look at you, still shopping at clearance racks like some charity case. Andrew Westland's voice sliced through the grocery store like broken glass. Heads turned, phones lifted. I felt the heat crawl up my neck, but I refused to drop my eyes. He moved closer, Vanessa laughing behind him like this was entertainment. Still can't afford real food. He knocked the basket from my grip. Apples scattered across the floor. A can of soup rolled under a stranger's cart. I didn't bend down to pick them up, because the footsteps I heard behind him, expensive leather on cheap linoleum, steady and unhurried, didn't belong to some random shopper. They belonged to the man who owned half of Silicon Valley. And Andrew had no idea he was about to lose everything. Hello, my wonderful family. Welcome back to Tales, your family channel. May the Almighty envelop every woman in a gentle, healing light, so that every hidden hurt within her finds peace at last. May the one who has given her strength bless her with mornings filled with hope, nights filled with comfort, and days that bloom with joy she doesn't have to seek. May every woman who has endured pain in silence be granted miracles that elevate her spirit. May every mother, daughter, sister, and wife be surrounded by love that safeguards her, respect that elevates her, and blessings that follow her wherever she goes. May her heart remain whole. May her dreams continue to shine. And may her value be recognized as heaven honors those who give more than they ever receive. And my family, your love is the pulse of this channel. When you're quiet, it feels like I'm speaking alone. But one comment from you, one moment of your presence, reminds me that I am not on this journey by myself. I promise from deep within that I will respond to every message you send. If your heart is sincere like the video, if your love is genuine, say, I stand with Tales. My name is Wendy Freeman. And this is the story of how I became the woman my ex-husband never saw coming. The one he humiliated in public, and the one who made him realize too late that some mistakes cost more than you can afford to pay. 3 years ago, I stood in the grand ballroom of the Westland Industries headquarters wearing a navy dress I'd saved 4 months to buy, champagne glass in hand, smile practiced in the mirror that morning. Proud to be Andrew Westland's wife. The room glittered. 300 people in designer suits and gowns, celebrating another record-breaking year. Andrew was at the microphone, confident as always. I have an announcement, he said. The room went silent. I'm filing for divorce. My champagne glass nearly slipped from my hand. I found someone more suited to my lifestyle. He gestured toward the back of the room. Vanessa Cole stepped forward. 26, stunning daughter of real estate mogul Richard Cole. Everything I wasn't. Heads turned. Some faces showed pity. Others smirked. Whispers rippled through the crowd like wildfire. Andrew looked at me. Not with guilt, but with finality. You'll be fine, Wendy. You always land on your feet. I stood there, frozen. I didn't cry. Not in front of them. I waited until I reached my car in the parking lot. Hands shaking so hard I couldn't get the key in the ignition. If you've ever been abandoned by someone who promised forever, you know that silence in the room. The one where everyone's watching you break. That's the moment I learned who I really was. If this story feels familiar, stay with me. You're not alone in this. I thought that was the worst night of my life. I was wrong. The worst part was waking up the next morning and realizing he meant it. I moved into a studio apartment with a broken heater and walls so thin I could hear my neighbor's TV through the night. The divorce settlement was nothing. Andrew's lawyers made sure of that. I worked 2 jobs. Waitress at Murphy's Diner from 6 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. Office cleaner from 8 at night until midnight. I ate ramen because it was cheap. I cried in grocery store parking lots because no one could see me there. Meanwhile, Andrew's Instagram told a different story. Yachts off the coast of Santorini. 5-star restaurants in Manhattan. Charity galas with Vanessa draped on his arm like expensive jewelry. He never looked back. Not once. People who used to know me, friends from his circle, couples we'd had dinner with, crossed the street when they saw me coming, became invisible. I didn't just lose my marriage. I lost my identity. For 6 months, I disappeared into a routine of exhaustion and silence. Work, sleep, survive, repeat. And then one night, a stranger walked into the diner and asked me a question no one had asked in a long time. "Are you okay?" It was nearly midnight. The diner was empty except for the hum of the soda machine and my exhaustion. I was wiping down tables when the door chimed. A man walked in, hoodie, jeans, tired eyes. No expensive watch. No entourage. Just someone who looked like he needed coffee and quiet. He sat at the counter. "Coffee, please." I poured it without looking up. "What's your name?" he asked. "Wendy." "How's your night going, Wendy?" Pause. No one asked me that anymore. "Fine." He nodded. Didn't push. Just drank his coffee. He came back the next night. And the next. We talked about weather, bad coffee, late shifts. Small things. He never pried. Never asked why I looked so tired or why my hands shook sometimes. 3 months later, he asked me to dinner. I hesitated. I'm not in a good place right now." He smiled gently. "Neither am I. Maybe that's why we understand each other." 6 months later, he asked me to marry him. Said yes. But what I didn't know, what he hadn't told me, was that Marcus Hale wasn't just anyone. We got married quietly. City Hall. Just us. Marcus wore a simple suit. I wore a white dress from a consignment shop. It was perfect. He still hadn't mentioned money. I assumed he was comfortable, maybe a good job in tech, but not wealthy. 2 weeks later, he said, "There's something I need to show you." He drove us north along the Pacific Coast Highway. We turned into Malibu, past gates I'd only seen in magazines. A sprawling oceanfront estate appeared. 12 bedrooms, infinity pool, staff waiting at the entrance. "Whose house is this?" I whispered. "Ours." My breath caught. The truth came out slowly, carefully. Marcus Hale, founder of Hale Industries, one of the most powerful tech moguls on the West Coast. "Why didn't you tell me?" My voice cracked. "Because I wanted someone who loved me, not my money." "And you did." I cried, not because of the wealth but because someone finally saw me. "Do you want people to know?" he asked gently. I thought of Andrew, Vanessa, everyone who watched me fall. "Not yet. I want to heal first. Sometimes the people who hurt you the most don't deserve to see you rise. Not yet. Not until you're ready." If you've ever needed time to rebuild yourself in private, you understand why I said no. Stay with me. This story isn't over. Marcus respected my choice. But he made me a promise. If anyone ever hurts you again, they'll answer to me. I didn't think I'd need it. I was wrong. I hadn't been home in 3 years. Didn't want to go back. But my mother's birthday was coming up, and guilt has a way of pulling you places you'd rather avoid. Marcus offered to come with me. "You don't have to face this alone." I shook my head. "I need to do this alone." The drive felt longer than I remembered. Same crack streets. Same diner on Main where I used to work. Same memories I tried to bury. I stopped at the grocery store. Just needed ingredients for dinner. In and out. Quick and invisible. I thought I could slip through unnoticed. I thought I was still that invisible woman no one saw. I was wrong. I was in the produce section picking up apples when I heard it. A voice I'd hoped never to hear again. "Wendy." My hand froze mid-reach. Turned. And there he was. Andrew Westland. Standing 3 aisles away with Vanessa Cole clinging to his arm like a trophy he'd won. His eyes widened, surprise, then something darker. He looked at me like I was a ghost he thought he'd buried. Andrew walked toward her, smug and confident. "Wendy Freeman. I didn't think you'd still be around here." Vanessa whispered loud enough for Wendy to hear. "Is that her?" Andrew's smile widened. "Still shopping clearance, huh? Some things never change." Wendy stayed calm, turned back to the shelf. Andrew got louder, performing for the small crowd forming. "I always wondered how you were doing. Guess I have my answer." He knocked the basket from her hands. Apples scattered. Pasta sauce shattered. People stopped. Phones came out. "You're pathetic, Wendy." Look at you, still living like some charity case. Vanessa leaned in. Maybe we should offer her a loan. They laughed. The store was silent except for their cruelty. Wendy stood still, staring at the mess on the floor, heart pounding. Then she heard it, footsteps. Expensive shoes on cheap tile. Confident and hurried. She looked up. Marcus. He walked through those automatic doors flanked by two men in black suits. His face was calm, but his eyes, ill. The store fell silent. Andrew turned, annoyed. He had no idea what was about to happen. Marcus stopped in front of Wendy. Didn't look at Andrew. Looked at her. Mrs. Hale, he said softly. Are you all right? The air left the room. Andrew's face drained of color. Vanessa's smirk vanished. Someone whispered, Mrs. Hale. Marcus extended his hand. Wendy took it. He turned to Andrew. Deadly calm. You just made a very big mistake. Andrew stammered. Wait, Wendy, you're married, Marcus finished. To me. The crowd gasped. Phones recorded everything. Vanessa stepped back like she'd been struck. Marcus gestured to his security. Escort Mrs. Hale to the car. Wendy walked past Andrew without a word. No explanation. No gloating. Just silence. As the automatic doors closed behind her, she heard Andrew call her name. She didn't turn around. Outside, the black car waited. Marcus opened the door for me. I slid inside, my heart still pounding. Through the tinted window, I could see Andrew standing in the middle of the store, surrounded by strangers with their phones out. He looked small, powerless, exactly how he made me feel 3 years ago. Inside the car, Marcus sat beside Wendy. He didn't ask if she was okay, he knew. I'm sorry you had to see me like that, Wendy whispered. Marcus. You have nothing to apologize for. He does. The car drove away from the grocery store. Wendy looked back one last time. Andrew was still standing there, frozen. Later that night, Wendy's phone buzzed. Text from an unknown number. Wendy, we need to talk. I didn't know. Please. She deleted it without responding. Another text, this time from Vanessa. You could have told him you moved on. You made him look like a fool. Wendy almost laughed. She didn't reply. Marcus watched her. Do you want me to handle this? Wendy shook her head. No. Let them sit with it. Let them wonder. Let them regret. The next morning, Wendy woke up in the Malibu estate. Sun streaming through the windows. Marcus brought her coffee. The video's everywhere, he said gently. It's gone viral. Wendy took the coffee. Looked out at the ocean. Good, she whispered. But that wasn't the end. Because 3 days later, Andrew showed up at the gates of the Malibu estate. And what he said when Marcus answered the door. I never saw that coming.